Tonight, the sky is putting on an absolutely incredible show, and you have a front row seat. So let's walk through everything you need to know for the spectacular 2026 Total Lunar Eclipse.
You know, as the moon passes through Earth's shadow, it creates one of the most stunning sights you can possibly see from your own backyard. This isn't just any old full moon. We're talking about a grand, cosmic alignment of the sun, the Earth, and the moon.
And get this, you're not going to be watching alone. Over 3 billion people across the globe will have the chance to see this. That's more than 40% of the entire world's population, all potentially looking up at the exact same sky as you. How cool is that?
So this is really important. This is an event you do not want to miss. I mean it. If you skip this one, your next chance to see a total lunar eclipse, a true blood moon, won't be until the very end of 2028. This is it for 2026.
Okay, so I've hopefully convinced you not to miss it. Now for the really important part. How, when, and where can you actually see this thing? Let's get into it.
This celestial show is going to be visible across a huge stretch of the planet. We're talking North America, Australia, New Zealand, and parts of Eastern Asia. But the absolute best views, where you can see the entire thing from start to finish, that's going to be in the western half of North America.
All right, let's break down the timeline, and all these times are in Eastern Time. It all starts pretty subtly at 3:44 a.m., but the real action begins at 4:50 a.m. That's when you'll see Earth's shadow literally take a bite out of the moon. But the main event, totality, kicks off at 6:04 a.m. That is when the moon turns that famous reddish color, hitting its deepest, most dramatic red at 6:33 a.m. That's the moment. So you know when and where to look. Now let's talk about how to get the absolute best possible view.
It's actually pretty simple. First, check the weather. Clouds are the #1 enemy of any stargazing event, so have a backup spot in mind if you can. Second, try to get away from city lights. The darker your surroundings, the more those incredible colors of the eclipse are really going to pop. And third, a special tip for those of you in the eastern US, the moon will be setting during the eclipse, so you'll need a clear, unobstructed view of the western horizon to see it.
Now, for maybe the most important viewing tip of all, safety. And the news here is fantastic. Unlike a solar eclipse where you need special glasses to avoid seriously damaging your eyes, a lunar eclipse is completely safe to watch with your naked eyes. No filters, no special glasses, just you and the sky.
We've covered the what, where, and how. But now for what I think is the most fascinating part, the why. Why does any of this happen at all?
I mean, this is the big question, right? The moon isn't actually turning red, of course, so what in the world is causing this incredible illusion? Well, it all starts with this perfect cosmic alignment. The Earth positions itself directly between the sun and the full moon. Our entire planet then casts this one enormous shadow, and the moon flies right through the very heart of it. And here's where it gets really, really cool. Our own atmosphere, believe it or not, becomes a giant lens. So Earth blocks all the direct, harsh sunlight. But the light that just grazes the edges of our planet has to pass through our atmosphere. And just like with a sunset, the atmosphere scatters away all the short blue wavelengths of light. But the longer red and orange wavelengths, they pass right through, get bent, and are focused right onto the moon.
This quote from NASA just says it perfectly. When you look up at that red moon, what you are really seeing is the combined glow of every single sunrise and every single sunset on Earth, all happening at the exact same time, projected onto the lunar surface. It's beautiful poetry, and it's also just physics.
So finally, let's talk about the names. You'll hear this event called a couple of different things, and each name tells a completely different story.
Blood moon is pretty straightforward, right? It's just a great descriptive name for that coppery red color we just talked about. But worm moon, that's the traditional name for any full moon in March. It comes from the time of year when the ground finally thaws and, you guessed it, the earthworms start to reappear. A sign of spring. So when you put it all together, what we have is a rare celestial alignment that won't happen again for years. It's a truly beautiful spectacle created by our very own planet's shadow and light. And best of all, it's completely safe and easy for billions of us to just step outside and watch. So as you look up at that eclipsed moon tonight, here's a final thought to leave you with. Are you seeing the simple physics of light being scattered by an atmosphere? Or are you witnessing something just a little more profound? The collected light of all the world's sunrises and sunsets gathered together and painted across the face of the moon. The answer, of course, is both. Enjoy the show.